Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Progressive Action TV show. If this is your first time watching the program, I am your host, Tremel Thompson. What I need for you guys to do is I need for you guys to share out the video. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like the video, share it out. If you're watching on Twitter, please retweet the video. If you're watching on Facebook, share it inside a Facebook group. Share it on your personal page. These shows are very, very informative. For those who don't know, we are the #1 labor show in New York City regarding issues that affect labor and community. So thanks for tuning in if you're just tuning in. Also, in the link of the video on Facebook, I have a Zoom link. If you would like to get on the broadcast, you just click on the Zoom link. I'll bring you in towards the end of the show, but you could come in the Zoom link right now just to reserve your spot. There's a lot of things going on. So a lot of things going on. Like I said, it's an election year. This pandemic is still here. It's just a lot of moving parts that we must pay attention to, not only in the community side, but the labor side, because they all seem to be intertwined. Like I said, if you just joining the broadcast, please share out the broadcast. This is going to be a very, very, very informative broadcast regarding our hazard pay, who's responsible, and things of that nature. I'm going to touch on some regular housekeeping stuff regarding TWU Local 100, politics, campaigning, business, and things of that nature. Let me see something real quick. So, as you guys know, it's an election year, and the union is going to try to make it look like they're doing more than what they normally do. Or they're going to make it look like they have always been doing, keeping busy and caring about the members and all this other stuff, but it's all a smokescreen. And I want to focus on something that's going on in my department and how it's campaign season and how they play into trying to get votes. So we have new classes of train operators and conductors coming out, and you're going to see the union push this out. Oh, we got new classes, and you're going to see the union reps there because the union reps know that these new recruits do not know how they are, before they got here. They're not going to know, right? So the union representatives look at these new recruits as votes because they are the first people to get to them. They're the first people to touch them, and they can lie to them first. That's what it's about, before the truth actually hit them. So that's why I say that it's very important. It's very, very, very important that we share out these videos and speak to the new people in the crew rooms. Make sure that they're a part of Progressive Action so they can make a uniform decision, a logical decision, and a smart decision when it's time for them to cast their ballot about what's going on. Right here, like I said, you got the union front and center with 75 conductors. Also, they had I think they said something about 60 train operators or something like that came out. The union reps is going to be there because those are potential votes. It's a campaign year. I keep telling y'all, the way to offset this is if you see someone new, there's no problem with saying, hey, hello, how you doing? You just got here? All right, cool. Pay attention. Did you subscribe to Progressive Action? Are you following their videos? Do you have Facebook? You must put them on to the people who's doing the work, who's actually doing the work. Because there's a difference when you're getting paid to do the work and the people who's not getting paid to do the work and continue to do the work and do it at a high level. So make sure to pass out this information. We must remember that it is a campaign year. It's very dangerous because this past decade, we have lost a lot as a labor union. In fact, the past 3 years have been horrible for labor in TWU Local 100, and we can't repeat and make that same mistake again. Now, we have this whole big debacle between our union, Cuomo, John Samuelson, and the smoke screen has begun. Um, and now what I see is going on is that Samuelson is trying to make a turn on Cuomo, which he should have been done because Cuomo was anti-labor from the start. He was anti-labor from the start. But for now, for Samuelson to make a turn on Cuomo, it's not because of where Cuomo stand with politics as far as labor is concerned. Because if you ask me, Cuomo and Samuelson share the same labor politics. It's the fact that Cuomo got dirtied because of those sexual harassment allegations that Samuelson is now trying to make a change. Because even if it is about labor, as what Samuelson is saying, and the sexual harassment, don't you think that it's too little too late? I mean, Cuomo only implemented Tier 6 April 1st, 2012. 9 years ago. So couldn't that been the time when you made the change on him? Or how about when he said that he vetoed our Tier 6 reform after it passed the Senate and the Assembly? He vetoed it. Why didn't you guys make a move on him then? If we want to keep it real, the only reason Samuelson is making this move on Cuomo is because of those sexual harassment allegations. That's it. That's it. They share the same exact ideology when it comes to labor. Once again, if you ever see Samuelson, why you ain't make a move on Cuomo when he vetoed our Tier 6 reform? No answer. Crickets, right? Samuelson right now is in survival mode and he's just playing politics. That's what I need you guys to understand. This is just politics. He's in survival mode right now. He's trying to latch on to the next set of politicians who's not going to care about transit workers. And that's why I'm doing this show today, because I'm going to show you guys these politicians do not care about transit workers. They don't care about our hazard pay. They don't care how many people passed away because of this whole entire pandemic. They do not care. We are the last of their worries. They have been selling us smoke screen and mirrors for decades, for years. Our union administration, this Stand United administration, has been selling us smoke screen and mirrors for over a decade. And it's easy to piece together these puzzles. It's not really a puzzle because they burn the candle from both ends. Right now, we at the point of getting the members to pay attention. Pay attention to what's going on here. You don't have to do the research because we're going to do the research for you and you make your own informed decision. And I hope it's a uniformed one. Because we're not just going out there telling you guys, hey, believe what we say. We putting up proof on the screens. We putting up receipts. We putting up videos. We putting up documents. We putting up all types of stuff to prove our point. The union administration don't never do that. They just expect you to blindly follow them as if they did great things for us. They have done nothing great for us, specifically speaking, within these last 3 years. These last 3 years have been very detrimental to transit workers. We have seen attrition. We have seen what happened during the pandemic. We have seen an increase in discipline. We have seen our jobs being farmed out to contractors, all-time high. At an all-time high. These past 3 years have been very detrimental to the transit labor workforce. And like I keep telling people, if the union felt so strong, I got the Zoom link open. Why don't you encourage them to call up and have a conversation? I don't care who it is. I don't care who it is. So we're going to look at what Samuelson said regarding Cuomo, because I'm here. I'm doing the research. I'm making the work easy for you guys. So when I go live, you could just follow along and listen and make an informed decision. This election is so important. We cannot make a mistake like we did before with the presidency. We cannot do that. So a news article called In These Times had asked Samuelson, did Cuomo sexual harassment issues and ethical issues play any role, or is this strictly about his treatment of transit workers? Now, this is what Samuelson said. It isn't lost on me that he's under investigation on multiple fronts, and that even some of his appointees on the MTA board are involved in unethical behavior, but I still maintain the position that he deserves due process, at least at a minimum of waiting to see what the independent investigation, which has taken up under the supervision of Attorney General. I'm sure that report is going to substantiate elements of accusations that were made against him. But until that report is out, that's not entering into our equation. Our equation is that he is anti-MTA worker. John Samuelson is full of sugar. John Samuelson is full of sugar. In fact, he double talks in this statement alone. He double talks on this statement alone. He says that he said at least at a minimum, they waiting to see what the independent investigation is. But then he says, I'm sure that that report is going to substantiate some type of allegations. Within a couple of sentences, he contradicts himself, right? But this is not about the allegations. I mean, this is not about his treatment of transit workers. Because if you look at Cuomo treatment of transit workers and Samuelson treatment of transit workers, they are one of the same. They are one of the same. The difference is that Cuomo never acted like he liked transit workers. John Samuelson did. And he does it so we could fund his lifestyle, so we could fund his political aspirations, so we could push his political career, because that's what it's about. He is going up the success ladder on the backs of transit workers, and we are not reaping the benefits of it. We are not seeing no residual effects of having an international president. John Samuelson is being our international president. We are seeing no residual effects of John Samuelson spending our coat money on these politicians to back transit workers. We are not seeing any residual effects of any of this. So, once again, John Samuelson ideology and Cuomo ideology on labor is one of the same. Is not separate. It is one of the same. Let's look at the next statement that Samuelson said. They asked him another question. Your union backed Cuomo in 2018 election. What led you to withdrawing your support? This is what Samuelson said. We were at odds with the governor from the time that he came in until midway through 2014. And we settled a contract that was outstanding, that broke the established economic pattern. That contract was settled with the assistance of the governor, and that began a period of support for the governor. That is BS. I want you guys to find one news report. I want you guys to find one article. I want you guys to find one video on the union website or the union YouTube to say that they spoke out against Cuomo. They have never done it. Now, what they rely on us to have is amnesia. They rely on us to take them at their word. Like we said, we cannot take these guys at their word, because they have proven time and time and time again that we cannot trust them. We cannot trust them. So how he gonna say that he was against Cuomo when Cuomo first came in, and then in 2014 he was against Cuomo? That's crazy. Matter of fact, I want to find this picture just to bring. I hope I can find it. I really hope I can find this picture just to bring you guys into the loop of. Oh, I found it right on time, because I gotta show you guys in real time what these lies look like. So let me finish reading this. He says, we're not in the business of supporting people that don't support us. That is a lie. I've not had a conversation with the governor since before November 2019. This may appear as if it's happening overnight, but it's not. There's been a steady decline in the relationship after disputes with the governor-appointed MTA board members and with Cuomo over MTA leadership plans. When you have to fight with people who call themselves your friends. When you have to get into knockdown, drag them out brawls in order to accomplish reasonable outcomes. This is a relationship that's not worth having. Now, I want you guys to analyze what this man is saying. He said, when you have to fight with people who call themselves your friends. So you guys was calling each other friends. How is that when you said that when Cuomo first came in to 2014 that you wasn't supporting him? Midway through 2014 that you was against him. Now, you should have been against him from April 1st, 2012 if you want to set a marker or draw a line in the sand. That's when he implemented Tier 6. So you was cool with the governor after Tier 6, and you even called him your friend. If you look at every MTA board meeting that John Samuelson was on, you have never seen him badmouth the governor. He only badmouthed Cuomo's friends on the MTA board. They never spoke out against Cuomo. Find one video where they spoke out against Cuomo. They never spoke out against Cuomo. Now, he talking about, put this in place. He talking about, we wasn't friends and then we was friends and then this and that. Let me ask you guys a question, and I'm serious. Does this look like two people who are not friends? Someone answer that for me. Does this look like two people who are not friends? These look like two people that were friends. And this is why we got to always tell Samuelson and his lies. FOH, get out of here. It's all lies and a game. They take us for a joke. They think that we're not smart. They think that we're not intelligent. They think we can't think for ourselves. They think we can't think on our toes. And when we challenge them, we wrong. We become targets to them, and they feed us the management. This is what they do. This is what they do. And that's why I'm going to touch on getting this hazard pay. Have you guys noticed that this hazard pay discussion has declined dramatically ever since Trump got out of office? Before, everyone was like, Trump, the federal government, Trump. Trump get out of office, Biden gets in. What happened? You don't hear too much calls for hazard pay, right? That's because people put these political parties before the men and women who actually make this country work. It's not about us. It's about politicians and politics and what's good for them. And then whatever residual effects that we could get, whatever crumbs they want to sprinkle all over us, that's what we get. We should be getting the cream of the crop. But this is what we get. Now, I'm going to get into, but I mean, look how sick this picture look. I mean, come on, guys. Come on, guys. Look how sick this picture look. This picture looks sick. Come on. They friends. They more than friends. That picture show, I never seen, I got to continue to say this. I never seen a man blush or for a kiss so hard ever in my life. They was more than friends. I mean, come on. They definitely, John Samuelson is definitely not a friend of labor if he kissing our arch enemy. How can you explain this? How can you explain this? You can't explain that. How can you explain that? You can't explain that. Now, I'm gonna walk you guys down a little timeline. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna walk you guys down a little timeline just regarding the hazard pay and some recent news interviews. And I'm gonna start off with a transcript of de Blasio, I believe, with Errol Lewis from New York One. I believe this is who he did the interview with. But they talk about hazard pay. So I'm going to put this on the screen, and I'm going to read a little bit of it just to give you guys a foundation on where I'm going with this. All right, so Lewis asked him, okay, let's move on. There were some essential healthcare workers, including members of DC 37, now asking the city to provide hazard pay or some kind of extra compensation due to their workloads over the past year. This came up around the time of the ticker tape parade earlier this month, which has held in their honor. There's stimulus funding. There's a budget that seems to have some extras in it. What is your response to those workers? Now, I need you guys to understand. He said that there's stimulus funding. There's a budget with extras in it. So that means that there is a presence for hazard pay. There is something there for hazard pay or some type of extra pay or some type of differential pay. There's something there. Now, this is what de Blasio said. I think they did amazing work in a time when the city was going through hell. And I give them a lot of credit, and we want to be good to them in a lot of ways. The magnitude of what's being talked about with that proposal, even though I think I understand the proposal, I understand why anyone will want extra help. The magnitude of that is something we can't reach under our current situation, but we could reach if there's additional help that comes in either the federal or the state level. A lot of really powerful things are happening in Washington right now. If any of that leads us to have the opportunity to do more, we're always going to be open to that. The state is actually now doing pretty well fiscally. The state, Cuomo, that's what he's saying. We would welcome their help. But when you look at this budget, this is a recovery budget, the city budget. It's a recovery budget. What are we focused on? We're focused on public safety. We're focused on bringing back our schools, helping our kids deal with the trauma they've been through, getting sanitation back where it was, a lot of really basic stuff in this budget. So as far as city workers is concerned, right, de Blasio was saying that he don't have money in the budget to give you guys hazard pay, right? Because the money that he's working with is a recovery budget, right? But what he also is saying is that the state have enough money. The state, they got enough money to give hazard pay to city and state workers. He came in and said that the state is actually now doing pretty well fiscally. That means that they have money. So you notice you don't hear Cuomo saying anything about hazard pay no more. Why? Because that ball is in his court. You don't hear a lot of these politicians really screaming hazard pay, except for a smoke screen and mirror moment. Why? Because they got the power to make that happen. The thing is that we're not going to get nothing until the fat lady sing. I know y'all heard of that saying before. We're not going to get anything until the fat lady sings. And it's wild and it's crazy that, that's happening. Now, I want to play this video. All right, what's going on here? I want to play this video of Senator Schumer talking about hazard pay when it was January 30th this year. We're going to play the video, and we're going to discuss it.
It in there, and we're going to fight for it. Another thing we're going to fight for is the Heroes Fund. You folks were online. You lost so many people, and I mourn for all the working people who were lost. I know some of them, and at least people should have gotten hazard pay. Now, hazard pay, the Republicans blocked it. We put it in the Heroes bill, the Democratic bill. The Republicans wouldn't do it. It's not in this new Biden plan, but we're going to continue for fighting for it in the next big transportation bill. And we'll need your alliance all the way. We get the money for transit first and foremost so they don't shut down anything. But priority number 2 is hazard pay. You folks who put yourself on the line, exposed yourself, deserve that. Transit in there, and we're going to fight for it.
Now, you heard what he said. He said hazard pay will be in the next big transportation bill. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? That next big transportation bill is here, as you can see on the screen. New York set to receive billions for transit airports repairs under $1.2 trillion deal. Where is our hazard pay? Where's our hazard pay? He said priority number one is to make sure we have funding to keep everything running. We got that. We should have our hazard pay in the next big transportation bill. Where is our hazard pay? Once again, New York set to receive billions for transit airports repairs under 1.2 trillion deal, says Schumer. This is the next big transportation bill. Where is our hazard pay? Where's our hazard pay? I want to know where's our hazard pay. I want to play that video again just to make sure y'all guys heard exactly what the man said.
Another thing we're going to fight for is the Heroes Fund. You folks were online. You lost so many people. And I mourn for all the working people who were lost. I know some of them. And at least people should have gotten hazard pay. Now, hazard pay, the Republicans blocked it. We put it in the Heroes bill, the Democratic bill. The Republicans wouldn't do it. It's not in this new Biden plan, but we're going to continue for fighting for it in the next big transportation bill. And we'll need your alliance all the way. We get the money for transit first and foremost so they don't shut down anything. But priority number two is hazard pay. You folks who put yourself on the line, exposed yourself, deserve that. Transit in there, and we're going to fight.
Well, Schumer, where's what we deserve? Where's that hazard pay that you're talking about? And ladies and gentlemen, this is what I need you guys to understand. Everything is smoke screen and mirrors. They tell us what we want to hear. They don't tell us the truth. They tell us what will keep us moving. At that time, it was only about keeping the system moving and dying. It wasn't about nothing else. We just go tell them what they want to hear. We know that we're not going to give them hazard pay in this next big bill. We know that. But you want to know what? They don't hold us accountable anyway, so we could tell them whatever we want to tell them without consequence. This is what they do. This is what they do. And we allow them to get away with it every single time. Every single time. If you just now joining the broadcast, I need you guys to share out the live. If you're watching on YouTube, like the video. If you're watching on Facebook, share out the video to your personal page, to the group, whatever. If you're watching on Twitter, retweet the video. But they just tell us what we want to hear. They do not care about us. This is not how you show workers, frontline workers, essential workers, whatever they want to call us, to try to make us feel good. This is not how you treat us. And the silence of our union leadership is saying a lot also. It's saying a lot also. Like this should be something that they should be tweeting about every single day. But as soon as we say fraudulent PPP loan, all of them go on the offense and want to do shop gates, want to do tweets, want to put up posts in Facebook. Why don't they have that same energy when it comes to our hazard pay? Want to know why? Because they are only concerned about the things that affect them. That's when you see them go hard. When you see something affect them personally or could affect them as a group, that's when you will see them go hard. Because one thing about them, they know how to stay on code. They know how to stay on code. How come they didn't show us that same energy when, as soon as I did the PPP loan video, they was on it? As soon as I start talking about hazard pay, oh, we don't care. Want to know why? Because that PPP loan gave the officers hazard pay inside the union. We're the ones who's getting screwed over. We are the ones that's getting screwed over. Now, there are some woke people on Twitter, and I keep telling you guys, if you guys got a gripe against the union administration, or you got a gripe against the TA, take it to Twitter. Take it to Twitter. Twitter is the best platform to air out your grievances with the union or air out your grievances with the MTA, because everyone can see it. Anyone can see it, especially once you start tagging people. They will see it. Trust me when I tell you. And I see my brother Lance, he put up a tweet today. Asking Schumer and the union, where's our hazard pay that was promised to the men and women who sacrificed their lives day in and out, the loved ones we lost and are still losing? What happened, Chuck? I don't see this in the breakdown of the allocated billions, not hundreds of millions, billions of dollars that's coming our way. And he's right. And he's right. And this is what we need. We need more of that. We need more members taking a stand and letting the union know and letting these politicians know how we really feel. Because our union leadership and our union representation, they are not representative of how we really feel as members. They are union reps. They supposed to put our concerns first. They supposed to amplify our concerns to the politicians, amplify our concerns to the MTA leadership, amplify our concerns to the governor. And we're not getting that. We're not getting that because, once again, it is not about us. It is about them. It is about their political careers. It's about them staying away from their tools. They are not doing great things out here by the members. And I don't know how many times I have to ask you guys or get someone on the screen with me from that side to say, Tramel, you're wrong. We're doing this. Well, come on this damn TV show then. Because you guys got to be crazy. Let me check the Zoom just in case somebody want to feel froggy to get on one of them. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm so wrong, then let's talk about it. The best way to discredit me is to come on the platform, say that you're wrong, say X, Y, and Z, and you shut down my whole movement. That's how it works. That's how it works. But you want to know what? When we don't participate in union elections, when we say, oh, I don't like politics, when politics control every single thing that governs you on this job, it controls your salary, it controls your work rules, it controls discipline, it controls your health care. Our job is driven by politics. So when the members say that they don't pay attention to politics, they ultimately mean they don't care how they gonna be treated on the job. They don't care if they get good health care or not. They don't care if about their work rules. They don't care about working in deplorable conditions on our workplaces. They don't care. And we got to get away from that mindset and come from a mindset of knowing what our value is and knowing what we deserve. We can't keep coming to the MTA boss and to the politicians and to Cuomo with our hands shaped like a cup, hoping for a couple of pennies to be dropped in there. We not panhandlers. We are actually doing the work. We are the workforces that move these people in the city, that take them to these big companies, these billion-dollar companies, so these billion-dollar companies can make a whole bunch of money and not pay taxes. Meanwhile, we are getting hit with taxes. Let's reanalyze our value. We must reanalyze our value. What would the queen bee be without the worker bees? What would the queen ant be without the worker ants? They wouldn't be able to survive. The worker ants do all the work. The working bees do all the work. They the one who make the honey and everything. And that's what we are for the city. We make them work. We make them look good. And in the meantime, we get nothing. At some point, this is going to all have to come to an end. Right? This is all going to have to come to an end. And we got to wake up, because we right now, we at the point where there's now or never. We at the now or never point of this right now, right? We at the now or never point of this. Now, also in some news, we have people jumping ship as normal. I wouldn't even call it jumping ship. I call it, let me put this on the screen first. Sarah Feinberg, she says she's out of here. She's leaving MTA after legislator fails to approve leadership changes. So I guess she had a plan. She like, look, if they deny or veto what Cuomo tried to slip a bill in there, the 11th hour, to change how the MTA leadership is structured, and the I think the Senate and Assembly shut it down, right? Sarah Feinberg said, I'm out of here. Now, okay, she's gone. She didn't have what you call that? Experience to work here anyway, right? They keep pulling people from the outside to run this very unique operation. New York City Transit is a very unique operation. And I told you guys before, the MTA will hire a hockey coach to coach a basketball team just because he's a coach. They don't care what he coached in. They don't care about any of that. Oh, you're a coach? Well, come coach this basketball team. All right, yeah, I'm going to come over there and bring my hockey skills to a basketball court. It makes absolutely no sense. And this is the same thing that we seeing with them doing with Jan Oliva, the guy who's taking Pat Foy place. For those who don't know, Pat Foy last day is today, and Sarah Feinberg last day is today. Who did they bring in? Jan Oliva. Jan Oliva, he has absolutely no experience in New York City Transit. He is a development guy. So once again, their ideology is, look, we're going to bring the guy who architected and who built the Barclays Center to now coach the basketball team. This is what the MTA does. This guy built, I believe he built the new Freedom Tower, whatever the case is. He was involved with that. What do he have experience? He got to run this very unique operation called New York City Transit. I'm going to tell you what he has. He has that yes man quality to Cuomo, because that's what all this is about. This is about who's going to be more cooperative and submissive to Cuomo. That's what this is about. Cuomo don't care what industry you was in to come work to New York City Transit. He just wants someone who's going to fall in line to what he got to say, not challenge him, be cooperative, and be submissive. And he gets it every time. He gets the pick every time. But Jan Oliva, I don't know anything about him, but I do know that he does not have no transportation experience. He is a builder. He's an architect. He's a developmental guy. This is what he does. He has absolutely no experience. So we got a guy that's about to be the chair, CEO of the MTA, and have absolutely no experience on what we do. No experience on what we do. Now, what I do think happened is someone like Feinberg, right? She was the interim president for New York City Transit, the largest transportation system in the world. She now has that on her resume. She basically could go anywhere and go get a job because she has the best transportation system in the world up under her belt, even though we know she dropped the ball big time. You see the news articles, oh, she did a wonderful job. Oh, she did this. Oh, she did that. Oh, no, she didn't. No, she didn't. Not saying that she was a bad woman. Not saying that. But I didn't see leadership when I seen Feinberg. I didn't see that. She was lost on a lot of the things. She was trying. Do I think it was genuine? Not really. You know, when she was doing her Zoom calls with the members, you know, she was trying. I say she was trying. But we don't need someone who's trying. We don't need someone to learn on the job. We need someone to know how this thing works. Byford would have been the best choice. He would have been the best choice. Byford would have been the best choice. And now we stuck with it's it's like spin the bottle, if you ask me. If you get chose, you get in the game. I don't care who you is. As long as you cooperative and compliant with me, you're going to be the chair of the MTA and all this other stuff. That's what you're going to do. But I want to bring something to you guys' attention also, because New York City Transit is one of the most racist agencies in the United States, if you ask me. And I want to give you guys a little history. There has never been a black CEO chair of the MTA ever since 1968. The MTA was created in 1968. And there has never been one black MTA chair. Now, they came close with a white woman. If the Senate would have approved it, a white woman, Sarah Feinberg, would have been in that position. But they have never even considered a black person in over 50-something years. What is it, 50, 53 years? In 53 years, not one black person have been considered, and that's something to take a look at. We all know that there's a glass ceiling when it comes to black people in New York City Transit. We see it in the MTA leadership. We see it specifically speaking in New York City Transit. If you look at most of the executive leadership, they are not people of color, right? They are not people of color. The people who really make the decisions here are not people of color. They not, right? When are black people not qualified to do these jobs? Black people are not qualified to be MTA chair or CEO. Black people are not qualified to be the president of New York City Transit. I mean, where are we at, right? But I just wanted to touch on that, bring that to you guys' attention, just to let them know that I'm watching and we watching. If I'm watching, I'm gonna make sure that you guys is watching, because you know these shows get thousands of views an episode, so we got to make sure that we get that word out. Now, I don't see anyone on the Zoom that wanna chime in. Like I said, if you're watching on Facebook, I believe, let me look myself. Yeah, if you're watching on Facebook, you could click on the Zoom link if you want to come on and say something real quick. I'll hang around for a few more seconds. Not long, because I got to get some rest. I'm not getting no rest that night. It's crazy. In the meantime, I need you guys to donate to the platform. You could donate via Cash App. The Cash App is Progressive Action 100. It's right there. You could just go to Cash App and donate to the platform. Donations have been very low lately. I need you guys to help keep this machine running. And all the other donation links is in the description of this video. You could just click on one, donate, and keep it pushing. Keep the platform moving. Let's see, can we get somebody on Zoom? Anybody want to come on Zoom? Anybody want to talk? Yeah, but look, man, we can't keep we can't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. This is not Beverly Hills Cops. We can't keep falling for the 3 Monty guys that used to be on 42nd Street back in the days and take your money. We can't continue to fall for the smoke screen and mirrors. The now you see it, now you don't. The carrot on the stick. We cannot continue to fall for these tricks. They are playing tricks with us. They are playing games with us, and we are allowing them to play games with us. We're allowing them to get away with this. Yeah, they know what kind of workforce and what kind of people they represent. They know what tick us off. They know what don't. They well aware of that. But we can't continue to point the blame at them getting over on us when we allowing them to get over on us. At what point does it stop? How much do we got to lose? What we got to lose? By the time people recognize, we're going to be stripped. We're going to be down to the bare minimum. And the stuff that we losing, we may not be able to ever get it back again. We may not ever be able to get it back again. It's now or never, people. I'm not going to play these scare tactic games with y'all, but I could do a whole show breaking down a lot of stuff that we lost over these past 10 years. I'm not here to fearmonger. I'm not here to whatever, but this is real. The stuff that we losing will have an impact on our livelihoods. It will have an impact on our households. It will have an impact on our communities. It's now or never, people. It's now or never. Well, nobody on the Zoom. It's all good. I need you guys to please share out the live. Please share it everywhere. If you're in the crew room, you see an unfamiliar face, and that's another thing, right? We don't communicate with each other enough on the job. The only time we communicate with each other is for negativity, for rumors. This person doing this person doing that, this person doing that person, this person doing that person. We got to communicate outside of that. We got to communicate for the stuff that really matters, like the information that Progressive Action provide. This should be our focus. If you in a swing room and you see an unfamiliar face, go introduce yourself. Say, hello, my name is X, Y, and Z. Are you new here? Ask questions. See what their interest level is. Let them know Progressive Action exists. If you're in a crew room, let people know Progressive Action exists. Go introduce yourself, especially my real diehard supporters. Go introduce yourself. Go let people know that somebody exists out there, a set of people out there exists that care what's going on, and we providing that information on a high level. Go introduce yourself. Stop being all stuck up. Stop being afraid to communicate with one another. The bad news only travel further and faster than the good news because people want something to talk about and to talk about other people. If you want to talk about other people, I got a whole bunch of union reps for you to talk about. You want to talk about other people? I got a whole bunch of politicians for you to talk about. Let's focus our energy on the stuff that really matters and the stuff that counts. Once again, you could donate to the platform via Cash App. The Cash App is Progressive Action 100. The link is in the description of the video. I am your host, Tramel Thompson, and thanks for tuning in to this episode of Progressive Action TV. Share out the video. Catch you guys later. Peace.